Here we go.
60.
Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Buonasera, buongiorno, benvenuti. Welcome everyone into a new episode of Fratelli di Rugby podcast. Me, Rugby Cocciotto, Ottavio and Mike. Mike, ciao, come stai? Buonasera.
Ciao. Yeah. All good, mate. All good. How you doing? You good?
Pretty good. We are switching kind of the situation from last week, how we felt about last weekend. We just swap jerseys for this episode, but we are also officially in the week that is bringing us into the first round of the Six Nations. So for 3 weeks URC is out. We're gonna review the two games, but then of course it's gonna be Scotland, Italy in Murrayfield, first game. How long it's been since we played Scotland for the first time in the Six Nation?
I actually don't know. I would say probably at least 5-6 years. It's got to have been, right? You know,
I was thinking now, already googling to check for the first round we play against. Mamma mia.
Because we normally play him like one of the last few games in the Six Nations, don't we? So yeah, I actually don't know, but I would say it's been a long time, mate. So yeah, let's see how that pans out, you know.
I randomly opened the Six Nation 2020, and the first round was against Wales. Guess how was the result against Wales? First round of the Six Nation 2020. We play with Minozzi 15, Sarto and Bellini on the wings, Morisi Canna, Tommaso Allam and Callum Briley, and then Lovotti, Bigi, Zilocchi, Zanni, Niccolò Cannone, Jack Polledri, Seb Negri, Bram Stein. The result against Wales in 2020.
I can't remember, but I want to say like 33-14, 43-0.
42.
Oh, okay, of course.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. Okay. But anyway, URC time, Mike. So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's leave il dolce alla fine, right?
Yes.
The good stuff at the end. Let's start with something with a really bitter spritz, I would say, this week from what happened with Benetton, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see. Benetton noise for the week was this here. Here we go. The duck, because really surprising. I wasn't expecting that result, Mike. Honestly, really bitter the way it came.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were expecting it, to be honest. After the highs of, you know, playing sort of the victory of La Rochelle, obviously we knew that it was going to be difficult with players leaving, but let's be honest, mate, that was unacceptable. Like it was unacceptable, that performance. And listen, I don't know what the answer is, but it just, consistency is a word that escapes us, Otto, and it's the same word that we use week in, week out, every single year when we want to talk about Italian rugby. So I want to hear your thoughts, man. But for me, I just, it's unfortunate, but it is unacceptable. We can't be beaten like that.
No, I agree, Mike. Ospreys did well what they did in the field. I think they play with their speed. They were aggressive in some certain area of the field that works. Jack Walsh had a really good game. So they did what they have to do to win. Then probably they've been helped in a certain way by the performance of Benetton. I wasn't expecting that result, because looking at the back line and seeing Juren Albornoz, you have the name there. Figito Azzanon, Gallagher, Rhino Smith, Mendy, which played really well to be the first game after the injury. Still, you look at those names and you say, okay, this is a great team, which still is, because many of them they play 2 weeks ago against La Rochelle. They were Marini from the start was something new. Maile, which played pretty well, 2 turnovers at the beginning. So, good genius by the team, the coaching team, that say, you know what, let's put Maile because he did his work. But then there was no possession and territory, and that it's really frustrating. But that is the word, and then upsetting for the result got for not play in some area of the field. But it's weird, Mike, because literally after that game with that backline and stuff, I wasn't expecting something like that. It hurts. Gallo e Crevi, then Paolo, of course. Gallo e Crevi in the team. They were 2 players. Crevi, I was expecting more this week.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I'm going to be honest with you, Otto. I think we got out-muscled. They knew that we were going to be bringing a young team, and they pulled out, the works in terms of like, we're going to be physical. We're going to let them know that, we're here. And there's 1 or 2 responses there. Either you start going into your shell and you need the leaders to emerge and, do something about that, or you up the ante and you go back in, you get stuck in. And unfortunately, I think we didn't do the latter. We definitely went into our shell. Sort of, there was a bit of fight, after at half time when they came back and they were held scoreless for 20 minutes, but disjointed attack. We weren't respecting possession. We were giving away territory in ridiculous positions. We were going for
the beginning of the game and the try, the disallowed try, that probably will have changed a little bit the mood. But it's not enough, because then 5 minutes and then you didn't play for 70.
There's really no excuses, is there? Like, it's one of those where, even if you feel like the rub is going against you, like, what we're going to do? We're just going to see the same old shitty mental attitude where we're just going to throw in the towel and do nothing about it, or you're going to get stuck in and you're going to try and change the game. And I think, unfortunately, right, and again, this isn't one person. This isn't, necessarily an attack. It's just an observation. And I think, Ospreys were very good at, putting hands in faces and getting people riled up. But unless you're doing it and hurting the opponent on the scoreboard, there's no, you've lost, right? You lose games like that. So for me, mate, I just think take it as a learning opportunity. It's really interesting to see a lot of those players, who we haven't seen or haven't had the opportunity to see all that often. He managed Bortolami to try new combinations, which every single Italian fan has been asking for. So he went and did it. We can't then, punish the coaching staff for doing what we want them to do, right? So we take the opportunity and, take the learnings, and I think try and hopefully grow from that experience. But we can't be seeing that. We can't be seeing that from a playoff team. 43-0. Just we can't see that anymore.
Couple of things about Albornoz. We talked before, little tired after last weekend. Umaga got injured too, so there were those months where he played constantly. Plus, also he played a lot with the national team, with the Pumas. This autumn, we have seen what he can do there. Needed rest, yes, and of course the chance for Marin at 10. Maybe we're gonna see him playing for once at 10.
Yeah,
hopefully a couple of games starting at 10. I think maybe him and Marin will play in 3 weeks against Ulster. I think that is a game that maybe they can focus, and Albornoz have a long rest, which is needed too. So yes, probably that. Phantom is eating consigle. What are consigle? Tell me this, Mike, because I want to know. What are consigle?
You know what? I have no idea. Roquefort's cheese, I know that.
Yeah.
So something with cheese.
Something with cheese. Something cheesy. Man, of course, Josh, yes, needs to start using Marine more when Umag is out. Those are the opportunities,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
let's see for
yeah.
that. But
Yeah, and I want to say as well, like the players that you highlighted at the start, I don't know if they felt as though after such a high, a high from the previous week, like they were going to go in and maybe they disrespected the opponent in terms of not mentally preparing for them. But I just definitely feel as though there's some players, that underperform drastically. And again, when you've got young players who don't have much experience who are looking up to you guys to push forward, I think that's just maybe a learning from even the most experienced people on the pitch. So yeah, I again completely agree, and hopefully some positives are the learnings that we can take from that, right?
learning and the rest time, actually, that is the best thing to in general. Of course, like rest time, the rest of the team will play. So it's weird to say, but okay, the non-Italian internationals, they can rest now. Even Rhino Smith that started well, fight back a lot, a couple of good opportunity for Itzegor, mentioned by Phantom 2. Yes, the line break, the really good line break was for him. And now let's see. And of course, not conjugal. It's Conchiglia, Phantom. Come on, yes, Conchiglia Rockford. Okay. Look this hook, because now we are done with Benetton for this week, because nothing more to say, because we know, okay, heads done, and let's go work. I think Treviso had the same attitude of Ulster. Did you agree?
Yeah, no, I think Phantom hits the nail on the head there. I think Ulster looked at ZEBRE coming in with maybe a what perceived to be a depleted team, but actually because they didn't respect the opponent, maybe they didn't do their own research. They thought it was going to be a walkover, and obviously we know because we've seen what Brunello's been doing. We understand the work that he's doing. We understand the growth of the team, but objectively, in such a short period of time, Ulster probably thought, we just on the pitch and we can do the business. And actually, ZEBRE, frankly, right, and I don't think it's unfair to say ZEBRE dominated large proportions of that game. They deserved to win that game, and there was one. There's one or two occasions, once again, where I was pulling my hair out with scrum dominance. We weren't keeping the ball in, even though we're moving forward, where we could easily have won penalties and just kicked over. Little things like that. But, Otto, what are your thoughts?
Look, little things. I'm gonna add a couple of stuff, and then we can go deep into the team. The growth is there because the results like that impossible. It was funny to read this the last couple of days about, but we were missing that player, and that other player on the Irish side. But okay, I agree. Couple of names: Fischetti, Prisciantelli out, Jesse. You take out these three, and Zambonin. Okay, for these four
the best players.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Then you have Pani injured. You have Trull out too. So winning a game with Pai and Gregory and showing how the effort they put into the game was really surprising and positive, because it's deserved, especially Paella. I saw really well Paella did a couple of big shots around 62, 63 minutes in.
He was killing them. Yeah.
Not those kind of tackles that cost him in the previous games.
He was good, mate. He was good. Like he was good, and I love the fact that you brought up Paella and Gregory, because
they came like the point is there. Everybody's pointing them. You see, the foreigners, they're not showing, they're taking responsibilities, playing well. I don't know how to say it, but they're a waste of money. No, that is the point about
that reaction. That reaction from them at the end of the game, right, where they were so passionate, like you can see that was so cathartic for them. That meant so much to them. And mate, like I thought they were Yeah, I'm glad you brought those two up as your example, because like I'm sure obviously we're going to talk about it a lot, but yeah, it meant a lot to them. You could see that it meant a lot to them, which obviously adds to the whole sort of grandiose moment, if that makes sense.
And going back on Ulster, you said maybe they were easy. Also, Josh put in the chat, they certainly expected to come away with 5 points without much difficulty. I was thinking a couple of good maul, Tom Stewart in the back of the maul, pushing in maul, too easy try. They didn't come in that way. They came after a big defense, huge defense, and even when they scored, they spend 2-3 minutes to try to score the try. The moment where for me was the sliding doors. I said, okay, now or we die or we survive. Was after the missed kick by Montemauri.
Yes, sorry, Montemauri. Yeah.
Montemauri said, "Fuck, here is coming as we know is gonna happen." So badly, because usually it's badly. So, of course, Josh is here. Kian in the chat with us was really trusting. Since before the game, he was really into. No, this is the game. This is the game, and he was right, because it was. But so they did in that way. They were not able to do it. Great, a lot of pressure, and the scenes at the end were for Gonzalo Garcia with Bigi, no? But Gonzalo Garcia, il pizzaiolo, the guy who throws pizzas everywhere, means that sometimes the passes are too bad, because he wants to go fast, quick, and sometimes off pace, some decision still there, but he was the guy with most carries in this game for ZEBRE. Turnovers, takeovers, it was everywhere. That was what you want to see for a Puma.
For sure. And
you want to see that kind of performance from him.
Yeah. And I think I've said it before, like on the pod. In fact, I know I've said it before in the pod, like where sometimes I wasn't too convinced by his attacking play, his defensive play. Like in fact, there's certain times where he just comes out like a terrier.
What I'm doing.
But he puts his body on the line, and he shows a lot of heart for a little man. So like there's a lot of positives that you could say. And like you said, Otto, I think he's growing into what he should always have been for ZEBRE, and what he is at test level. So hopefully we can ride the wave with him,
And then let's see what's going to happen next year with him, with all those players that who knows what's going to happen at the end, because we have to take also responsibility about that, because some players will stay, some others going to leave next year more. And of course, the foreign international can be those players that they have kind of a different market. We hope some of them stays, because we need those kind of players too, but let's see with the future for ZEBRE on that side. Dare, Montemauri, do they work well together this game? How you see both of them? Dare is not in my favorite position when he play 15, but that line that he runs for the try was such a line.
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty. I thought it's tough, right? Because I always feel like when there's two vocal playmakers, there's always, a pull and a pull, a push and a pull, where people are always going to be like, okay, so who are we listening to? And we saw a lot of that with England, actually, when Farrell and Smith were playing, because they're both vocal 10s, whereas when he played with Ford's a little bit more introverted and he could get away with dictating play. When they're both like that, I'm not sure, but it's hard to. Montemauri had some beautiful phases of play as well, especially where he was like, it was broken field play. It would have been very easy to pass it, but he's very good with his footwork and then creating space. I thought it was probably one of Montemauri's best games for ZEBRE. I think Darre, obviously, it was his most impactful. But there was some, mistakes as well on his side. He's clearly not that comfortable playing 15 yet. I don't know if that's where they want to use him long term. But to answer your question, I feel like I've skated around it. To answer your question, I think they're probably better on not having them both on the pitch at the same time, if that makes sense. I think they each have their own impetus in the game, and I think it's horses for courses when you play them.
Right. Simone Gesi and Alessandro Gesi this week. The youngster, yes. I think it was interesting to see in a game like that, second game that is around. Paolo. Great. Gesi Jr. 50% accuracy on tackle. Alessandro Gesi. It's so cool to see. If you go on the URC page of the players for ZEBRE, both they put them both in the same position when they took the pictures, so you can see the face. They are the same. One a little bit shorter than the other one, but we're gonna go through this, Federico, in a moment, because Asa is for something else. But Alessandro Gesi had a good game. He is being used as a retriever, a ball retriever, kinda. What does it mean? What I'm meaning with that? Box kick. I have to put pressure down there. So I have to go catch the ball if it's possible, put pressure on that. So I think that is, he had a couple of good line breaks.
Mate, that one, I know exactly what you're about. One was almost the try of the season. Had he had that offload gone to hand, that would have been an absolute thing of beauty. It was Darre starting it. No, sorry, Montemauri starting it. Darre then taking it and then giving the offload. Him cutting in on that hard line just behind the tackle, going straight through, and then obviously he juggles, and that was almost a thing of like that you hang that in the loaf. That's done. Right, that's a thing of art if that had happened. But mate,
solid to have played the first game away in Belfast, if I'm right. They playing in Belfast is the field too. So
showed a lot of maturity, didn't he? For a 21-year-old or player, it was a mature performance. So really, really impressed by him, mate. To be honest.
If you want to see Alessandro Gesi playing, you can watch it on YouTube or the Federation YouTube. Go watch Colorno's game. You're gonna see him. You're gonna see a couple of faces that maybe seen before, like Coffee. One of them we were mentioning today. So they're there. Lovotti also is there. Let me see. Federico was saying Garcia deserved the man of the match because he dictated the game and also defended well. And now let's go Ansangiro. Ansangiro Maurizio came to steady the ship. That's true too.
I've got to be honest. He was impressive, but he was on for 4 minutes of the game. So for me,
okay, calm down. We can do it. Maybe we can do it in some way, but no, it was good. We're gonna talk about a prop that is being dropped from the team that is gonna face the first game of the Six Nations. So actually, let me close this with the ZEBRE gonna play in 3 weeks against Edinburgh away. So let's see what's gonna happen. No fear, the team knows how to win away right now.
After they've done it now, easy.
Mia. So all this time, so no, really happy for Phantom mentioned Sisi. We saw Sisi behind. Go listen what Sisi said early this year with us about what is ZEBRE, and you can understand much more how important was that win. And of course, Brunello at the end crying, the rain. Those are the games for Brunello, Mike.
He loves rain. He loves it, doesn't he? It's always
better than napalm in the morning, right? Like that. He's ready for everything. But the drop of the prop. Asa. Yeah. Let's talk about Asa to go into the Six Nations. Josh, Asa was immersed, has been dropped from the national team. Is beyond ridiculous. 7 minutes of Sunday. Okay, we have some answers here, but let's start from Federico. Destroyed the Ulster Scrum. Asa, your thoughts on this prop tight head?
Yeah, man.
Is
like,
it a tight head? Is it a
bro,
loose head? Now I really don't know.
That's the question, right? You and I, right, and people, if you don't believe me, go back and watch last year's podcast. Otto and I have been saying Hasa is the real deal for a while, right? He is someone where obviously he's a tight head by trade, but he also plays loose head. Obviously, out of necessity, we saw him at tight head today, and man, yesterday, and man, he just looks so good. Like, he was carrying well. Like, even out, if we take outside of the scrum, which he was obviously marmalading, absolutely obliterating the props. But if we take it out of account, his carrying was good, his defense was good. He absolutely like smash some boys as well in those tackles. He goes low, he hits hard. He's a busy player, which you don't always find in a prop. He was really impressive. So Otto, is he a tight head? Is he a loose head? Frankly, mate, I don't give a fuck as long as he's on the pitch. I don't care, mate. Like, let's find space for him. Let's put him at 8. I don't care. As long as he plays like he did yesterday, he finds space on the pitch for me, mate. What are your thoughts?
75% of his games, 16 games he had since moved from Petrarca Padova to ZEBRE. 75% tight head, 25% loose head. So it's a lot of it's not 5%. Means that he knows how to play both. Like Pitinari, they are the players that switch a lot. And man, I'm really happy for him. Can be a really good shout also. If it's not this week, maybe next, or man, again in South Africa will be interesting to see him. Let's just paint his hair all yellow, and then he can be like a Vincent Koch style. Ready for that. Hopefully, let's say. He's playing, he's taking his chances better than other props until now, because he moved in front of Rizzoli on one side of the scrum. He had more chances than Nicolai Nocer. Of course, they are more injury prone, but hey, good for him. I mean, that good for him, good for ZEBRE, good for us, national team. Having a prop that is trying to bang on the roof of those 4 names, and who knows, maybe he's gonna move again when needed in a couple of years, and he's gonna be kind of like Porter, first part of his career on one side and then moving on the right side. So.
Mate, what a headache to be in, right? Like, obviously we went years and years and years, and I'm not planning on disrespecting people, but I remember the 2018 World Cup, the props that we went in to that. Sorry, the 2019 World Cup, the props that we went in 2019. To look at like the props that we've developed over the course of the last 6 years, and look back, we have so much depth. And the props are now starting to look more and more impressive, right? So for me, man, I'm just really excited to see Hassan, how he takes the opportunity, because like you said, I think he is banging on the ceiling. He's definitely making the lads, in front of him look behind. And, if he gets an opportunity and, he goes, let's say, a la Spagnolo, right, and starts performing at test level, I think if we're looking at tight heads, right, there's succession planning there for Ferrari, who's probably going to be there for the next cycle, and that's it. Riccioni, we don't know what's happening, but like he's up there with them at the moment, mate, the way he's playing. So who knows, man? I'm excited anyway.
Good for him. He's gonna be angry to play against Edinburgh in 2 weeks, which is really good, because they're gonna lose a couple of players too, and the other team, of course, ZEBRE, hopefully is gonna stay that team, and let's see what is next. So the news is that as has been dropped today from the team that is preparing the game against Scotland, and is being called Zanon. That is the news. It's been called Zanon. That he didn't have his best game last week too. There is a couple of other names out of the, and is pretty similar to the Asa situation, because Benjamin is saying it's sorry for Licata, but in front of him he has these two players now, which sucks, but it's good to have that level, because you know that they can the average player that has to play for the national team is higher than a couple of years ago, because the generation growth, and they're getting better and better, which is great. In other situation, we lack players, we lack experience more, would say, and probably that's why, to try to answer to this the question about Zanon, the situation about Zanon, is because we don't have Federico Mori ready too, because this is another option, because then Zanon and Bertaccini, who else is playing? Mazza play a couple of games, is not ready for this level. Morisi probably is not in the ideas of the plan, for developing plan of Quesada, because and then who else?
Sorry, Roberto, but
we're gonna go there. So, as you said, as you said, also Drago has been injured and didn't play pretty part of last year, and now he's injured. May plays first game with in Pro D2 with Angoulême.
How good did he look, by the way? I know we're probably just those nuggets of gold. Anyway, enough. Right, we'll say enough on them. But
tomorrow,
man,
the clip about this performance, it will be out, because it was already on Patreon.
Guys,
but it will be there.
Follow Otto's YouTube channel.
Hands are good. Also, because we're gonna face a player, the number 8 of Sochaux Angoulême, will score a try on an assist passed by May as a 12, because May is played 12 when he came in the field. So those are the names we have now. Then we have a lot of youngsters, but they're not playing. And let's see, Passarella, the famous Passarella from years ago, Passarella, Arturo Fusari, they're not there, guys. So San Andrea is a good prospect. He had this tiny chance in this game, but they have to have more game time and stuff like that. Looking. Probably is not in the plan as Morisi, but of course he's playing well. But when he's playing, because that is the issue with him, to having those tiny injuries, so you cannot make it for 5 games straight. I don't think he played more than.
I have a question for you then, right?
Yeah,
I agree with everything you said, and the problem is experience. M or G? Do you think
Marin? Emeirin.
Do you think Marin, or do you think Garbizone is going to be there as well? Do you think we'll see him at any point?
Man, I'm sorry, Roberto.
Sorry,
but if you have to call, there is an injury. Somebody had some issues during pre-game, maybe a big diarrhea attack happened to Capozzo last year against England, before the England game, with a problem with stuff. What's going to happen? Marin is going to play 12. So, perfect.
Yeah, and I think Kian mentioned in the chat, he hit nail on the head. He said that Marin runs really athletically, and you can see what he means by that. He accelerates into contact. He looks like genuinely, he looks like he's probably more of a center than he is a 10 at the moment. So, hey man, I wouldn't be adverse to see it. Obviously, it's good to have players that can play both positions, though, for sure. Oh God, I see what you've just highlighted here.
Oh, but everything goes around there, because we know for the ages, Menoncello, what we can do. But let's think, the Six Nations that we're gonna win after the next ones is gonna be 2028, right after the World Cup, where we're gonna qualify and everything to go forward ahead. But we need somebody after that, because for now, Lagias, I don't know what this does, but it's important that we need the fit breaks.
Yes.
And then we're going to prepare the Brexit. But to prepare the Brexit, you need a couple of years. So let's see how we're going to go into that without a silly situation around.
I'm pretty sure we're just going to clone him. Like, let's just put him on the the cryogenic. Like, let's just freeze him.
He has kids, but let's see.
I just think, mate, between games we freeze him, right, and then just before a game day we bring him back, see if we can extend his playing career by like a year or two. We'll be fine, man. We'll kick the can down the road. It's fine. We can find a replacement for Brex in a few years. It's fine.
If it's not Brex, just let's donate your arms for those sweet pull passes. I mean, at least those. The Sexton approach, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
The Sexton
was getting injected by like God knows what, like at the start of every game, just anti-aging. They found like the reversing for aging, and just every morning before a game, just let's get it in him.
Mark, talking about the team, Italy's team, how confident you go into this Six Nation? How stressed you are about it? How you feel?
I'm not stressed. I like if we've been objective about it, yes, we're probably lacking 3 or 4 players that you could argue are first team players, but we're going in with probably the best team we've ever gone into any Six Nations with, right? We've developed some players from last year, and also all of the players from last year have that much more experience and that much more like game pressure experience. And, you know, we've gone into a point where we've played the Champions Cup, and I spoke a little bit about this yesterday on a different pod, but like we have now grown as a nation with the same set of players who've gained experience. The Champions Cup's going well, so the Benetton players are going to come in with confidence. They've been exposed to, you know, the upper echelons of the club game, and they developed experience against some of the best teams in Europe. And man, like if not now, when? Otto? If not now, like if we can't say that we're not afraid and we're like sort of semi-confident, if we can't say that this year with everything that's gone on, when can we say that? So for me, man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this Six Nations. And listen, we say it every year, as long as the performance is good, who cares? Right, as long as we're competitive, as long as we do everything in our possible, in everything that's possible for us to win. If we do that, right, who cares? Like whether we come first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or last, because it will come. And that's my genuine opinion of it. Like I'm actually so excited for this Six Nations. And now I'm going to pass it to you, and hopefully you're less. Maybe you're less sort of emotive about it, but like for me, I'm just buzzing for it.
I'm really looking forward into this attacking approach that can change, because Quesada mentioned many times before during the November, after November, he said, okay, we are trying to have an approach on a different approach on attack. We're going to bring something new, but we were not able to show it. Was saying like losing some opportunity to show something that probably we will see more now, maybe some variation, 3 phases attack, kicks in some different areas of the field. I'm looking for that. I don't know how much the shape will change, but let's see, because probably they're working on that, because everybody knows the principle. Now you can change the shape because the principles are still there. I don't think they change so much. There's no change of plan of defense. You don't have a defensive coach that is leaving, like last year was like the last
transition.
With Hodges, and then you had Hodges already. The Southern Hemisphere tour in November. We see how passionate is Josh Hodges from 5 meters against Georgia, how mad it was at the game. There is a lot of works on skills and kicking game. So I think that is gonna be key for us to stay in front too in the games, because we need to be that team that can start putting 3 points is more than a try. Okay, we are there, taking the opportunity and go. So we need to be not 18 years old. Now we have we can be 25, 30 and silly. We can be in another style. Okay, before you drink beer, now you can go with a whiskey.
I'm
beer.
I'm 100% with you on that. And also I think like one thing that really we do need to see the Six Nations, and this is me thinking, you know, ahead to the World Cup, we need to see better game management, right? Because that's something where, again, you know, like ZEBRE won yesterday, and congratulations to him. But like I said, there was, I would say, 3 occasions where the ref didn't use it at the scrum, right? And we could have kept it in, and that probably, because we're moving forward at knots, that probably would have been a penalty. Kick it over, like you said, Otto. The 3 points over time, they're worth a lot more, right? And especially if you're getting into the ref's head that you're dominant at set piece, and you're getting into their head that you're dominant at set piece, they're going to be less, you know, a little bit more concerned about where they're going to give penalties away and stuff. Man, that affects the entire style of play. So outdoor game management, I think, is important. I agree with you. And I think, like you said, let's see if the decisions are of a mature 30-year-old or drunk 18-year-old. let's see how that works out.
Yeah, let's see if we can stay the full game into like we hope so, because also I think we are having a moment really well. Physically, the team it's ready. They know how to face pressure. Probably that is the thing. We know we know how to win games, because we won more games than usual, which is true. But we don't. The result doesn't have to be what is gonna. Not the goal, not the like something that you see with anxiety, like the pressure that kills you in the game. Like, oh my god, we have to know, play, and then it will come. So
exactly, it's about performance.
That for me is something that they have to try. I'm really an area of the game where I want to see a little bit more of improvement is what we used to be as a line out and penalty, scrum penalties. Those two stuff, we can be better.
Yeah,
but details, everything goes on details, because if we have disappointed, we don't score tries, because probably the only step up in our game is probably scoring more try when you have to kill the game.
Yeah,
and also the 3 points, right? If you want to go on the 3 points, but scoring with those opportunities. We miss opportunity with Argentina. We miss opportunity against New Zealand and against Georgia. So if we watch the last 3 games, yes, we create a lot, but we have to score too. So scoring in some way, you have to score. You have to work with the management, time management, game management has to be better on that.
Yeah, I can't remember the stats. Obviously, I'm sure you have them sort of squirreled away somewhere. But I think from memory, we spoke about 11 or 12 entries with Georgia, and we scored, 2 tries. Like, we need to be better at stuff like that. So it is interesting. I do want to quickly highlight, I just saw a comment from Josh, and I want to ask your opinion on this, Otto. So Josh was asked, I think with the rule changes, particularly now the 9 is so precious and must not be touched, might assist with that. I think he's probably replying to someone else. But my question to you, Otto, now that they have changed like that, do you see more value in Varney and, his probably higher level passing? Do you think he's going to be utilized more because of this rule change? Do you think it benefits him, or do you think it benefits, Martin Page-Rouleau with, his sniping runs or whatever it might be? What style of 9 benefits the most from this, in your opinion?
Man, it's good to have 2-3 different style of 9, because when get busy has the good day, the good game is really good, keeping tempo
kicking as well,
and kicking. Yes, Varney is really good, general all around, more athleticism. around the rack too, and in general defensive wise too, is Pagerelot, which is the most crazy, the most Baptiste Seren that we have is that kind of player, right?
Flary.
I wish I have Battista Serino for Italy, with all the respect with the other, but he's a great player. But anyway,
especially 2 weeks ago, he went Super Saiyan, didn't he? He was a madman.
He's l'ultimo dei romantici, Mike. He's one of those players that they don't make anymore. Those kind of player behind the striker, if we think about soccer, that one. But yes, Varney can be a solution, but I'm sure Quesada will manage him in a certain way. If he's gonna put him for the first game, he has seen something like, okay, I'm ready no matter what. Because that is the only thing. Like, okay, I'm going into this Six Nation. I don't have a lot of game time. I can be maybe rusty for the game. Probably he's gonna come for 20 minutes at the end, the first game, and then maybe in a couple of games later, you're going to see him starting with Pagerelot from the bench. So it's really there, because
it's a nice headache, isn't it?
Quality is there. Even if Simo, for example, say, I don't see Varney involved,
could be the case. Could be the case. Like I said, I think Otto hit the nail on the head, though. Like each player has their own strength, and you know, like I said, we've always been very complimentary of like Varney's like passing ability and like his ability to distribute. It is actually really impressive. So I was wondering, with a little bit more protection, and maybe, you know, people used to complain a little bit that he was slightly slower at the breakdown that he needed to be, and you know, Fusco came on and gave that tempo as an example. Who knows? But I think for me, it'd be interesting to see it. It's sort of make or break for young Varney this year, I think, just because of what's potentially coming behind him with the nine. So I'm hoping that we see him, and I'm hoping that we see him, you know, play to how we know he played. Like Australia, the first time we played Australia, the first time we beat him, like how influential he was there, and with all the kicks and just the game management. That's what I want to see. I want to see Varney just unshackled.
Mike, you think, looking at the team that is going to be put in the field by Gregor Townsend, you think it's going to be Hutchinson or Tom Jordan or Staff McDowell playing 12 for Scotland?
I think he'll go Hutchinson. He's to be honest with you, like had they not found who they had found in centre, I think Hutchinson probably would have a lot more sort of Scottish caps, but he's been brilliant at Northampton, mate. I think it'd be it.
Hutchinson there. I don't know why I feel it's going to be Tom Jordan, and they're going to put Fergus Burke from the bench, maybe against us or maybe against Wales. But Fergus Burke is really good addition for them.
For sure.
Looking, it's a good player with Saracens too. Is doing well. Let's see. Here we go. So we go with McDonald.
Yeah,
we were chatting before with Simone about like who's gonna play there, and with those three names came to our mind about yes, probably will be there. It's interesting, like how the way they call this guy from this number 8 Australian born, but the mom is from Scotland. Is this number 8? Looks really powerful, honestly.
French blood, right?
No, not French blood. He used to play Western Force too, and then he moved to Sochaux-Angoulême, which is
right. I saw some. I saw on the announcement on the Scottish Post there was a few French people commenting, so I just assumed, but maybe I've just seen a little bit more.
Playing for them. He scored two tries last week. So if you go watch the Pro D2 highlights, you're gonna see him there. But,
so he's playing the Pro D2. That makes
allowed
sense
too. So he was really powerful. Looks like Sione Vailanu.
Is this the one that was playing for with May? Sorry. Yes. The one that he gets a try for hard line. All right, got you.
And he runs in and then smash the player is him. Oh.
Yeah, man, he looked impressive. I actually watched that as well. I didn't even realize that was who we were talking
I
about.
wasn't expecting that they were going to pick somebody at least to look at him officially for the national team in Pro D2. It's something that
Do you think we should be doing more of that? Like, France are happy to take a gamble. Scotland are happy to take a gamble. Like, do you think we should be doing like that?
Maybe we are looking for younger player that we want to bring into, even for different approach, like project player kind of.
Bertaccini again, like
Bertaccini used to be last year. I think he spent 6 months in Turkey for his Erasmus program and stuff for university. Honestly, last year he missed half of the season for that reason. Bertaccini,
mental,
big legs. Bertaccini, Ipkiss. Bertaccini is Ipkiss. That kind
man.
Of
he like, again. I think, you know, a lot of people are quite excited to see what he can do, taking that step up. Like, again, like Spaniolo again. So yeah, interesting. But I quite like one thing that we haven't spoken about. I do quite like the fact that Quesada brought in the under-20s to train with the national team. I love that.
Belloni was one, and then they give each other game times. Let's see, the training time on a different level. And yes, absolutely, under-20 is exciting this year. Better backs than forwards. Respect for the forwards, but for me this year that looks like a really good line.
Do you think he brought them in because he wants them to start playing the style of play the national team? Because obviously he invited all of the under-20s to the meeting. So do you think he's now similar to how Georgia did it and similar to how Ireland did it?
I would like to see like a unity, continuity. Actually,
do you think that's what they're planning on doing? Because if they are, man, like, perfect.
I wish, Mike. I really wish something like that will happen, because it's if you align the pathway in a certain way, you create the way to play much more. Because at the end, some of these players in a couple of years, they have to be ready for the next cycle already, because they're going to be 22 and they have to start being involved in the 4-year cycle for the 2031. Let's say the one that now they are 20 years old. In 4 years, they have to be ready. They have to be half cycle. They probably going to have 5 to 6 caps, 5 to 7 caps. Generally,
in an ideal world, right? What we see is the under-20s. They have all of these players, right? If a component of the machine breaks, we can just pull a component from the under-20s, put it in. They know exactly the job that they need to do. They know exactly what to do. The style of play suits. Like, that's an ideal world where we're making the most of like the talent that we have, and that everyone knows their roles. Everyone knows what they need to do. Again, unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world, right? But that would be great.
In a certain way, you see how the England under-20, the way they play, you see how strong they work on set piece and attack from set piece, the way the hands works for Ireland, the continuity of play, keep the ball alive of France with big guys in the middle, but also the flare out. You see those, and you can recognize, like, okay, this is the team. Okay, this is the DNA of the national team.
So you don't see us mauling out from 20 meters against
Sadly
England.
not. Sadly not. But you know, if there is rain and maybe Brunel is walking outside, if he, the moment he walk in the stadium, something's gonna change, because under the rain, Brunello's under the rain.
It's just like he's doing a rain dance. Ready. Oh, funny.
The whole point of Italy is that, yes.
Yeah.
I hope to see, and I want to see this team like, how are we gonna say, be coached by somebody close to national teams. That's why for me, Herman Fernandez should be in charge, because it cannot be Quesada, but somebody under him can be in charge with other coaches around.
We need to align to a bigger vision. That's it, really. But interesting. Paolo, obviously that is the point that we're saying. Yeah, the under-20s are training with Italy at the moment.
Yeah. So, Mike, we're gonna see each other later this week before the starting of the Six Nation. So we're gonna have a little deep dive more, and probably we're gonna know the team. Team will be out.
Yep. Yeah.
Man,
Excitement.
Then we're gonna talk about, but I don't think big changes, big crazy stuff happening at least in the first 15 mans for this game.
No, I think we're going to look for continuity, aren't we? Like, we were asking for it again. If we ask for continuity, like, who are we then to say, oh, we want this, that, and the other? Let's the best team for the job. That's what we want, right?
Thursday, 12:30 UK time, 1:30, I guess, Simo. 1:30 is Italy time, so maybe Thursday night we're gonna talk about this. Let's see. Let's figure it out. That yes, 1:30 p.m. Perfect. Thanks all the 85 viewers live with us, 74 on X and 11 on Fratelli Rugby on YouTube. Guys, move also on YouTube. Give us a like, follow us, and chat with us. Comment our post and let us know what you want to know more. Mike, before wrapping up, last thing, little game just to close everything. I'm gonna give you two names. You're gonna keep one of those names, okay? Gonzalo Canale or Garcia?
Gonzalo Garcia.
Gonzalo Garcia, no Gonzalo Canale. Oh my God, that's a big, huge call.
Wait. In what respects? Like, are we talking from historic
if you
players?
Pick one between these two, Gonzalo Canale or Gonzalo Garcia?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with Gonzalo Garcia. Go on. I'll go with it. Why?
Gonzalone, guarda, tutti con Gonzalone Garcia. Gonzalone Garcia o Jaden Howard?
Jaden Howard.
Okay, Jaden Howard or Luca Morisi?
Jaden Howard.
Jaden Howard or Brex?
Brex
or Menoncello?
Oh God, Brex. Unfortunately, still Brex for me. Right,
Brex. Okay.
I love, you know how much I love Menoncello, but we do not function without Brex and Brex.
Okay, Brex win. Okay,
but can I grab Mori if we're subbing out Menoncello, please?
I was thinking something like that. Mori Menoncello. Next time I'm gonna leave Brex at the end.
Imagine
we have it. Hopefully we'll.
A Dogger as well. In fact, let's just all play centers everywhere. Let's just make it a rugby league team. let's get it done. Centers everywhere.
But we need more hands. So
that's it.
Mike, buona serata. Thank you guys. Simone, Josh, Paolo, Emanuele, Phantom. That reminds us that we always start late. Everything is better because it's Six Nation time. See you soon. Keep an eye on our social platform, social media and everything. Mike, stammi bene. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao, buonasera, ciao.
Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast.